Hi, Big Pezza here. I just thought I'd make something a bit different. I just wanted to talk about. I've just been looking at the bikes for next year, and I thought I'd share with some bikes that I just keep my eye out for and stuff. And anyway, I get a few questions on this, so I thought I'd make this to show you what not I recommend, but stuff that I look at, and I do like some of these bikes. Of course, when I'm talking about these, I do like a little bit of these bikes. Some of them I wouldn't. One of them I probably wouldn't buy, but the rest I would possibly look at uh, getting. But I will just talk about all the negatives of these bikes basically, and why you shouldn't buy them. And then if the negatives put you off, then don't buy them. But they probably, if you really want one of them bikes, it won't put you off at all, and you'll just go ahead and buy it. So it's fine. A lot of the bikes I'll be talking about are A2 compliant, so you're okay there, A2 owners. And remember, this is my personal opinion that might differ from your own, so feel free to attack me in the comments below. Right, let's start with a fan favourite, the Honda CRF 300L Rally, or the Rally or whatever. Frankly, it's now priced a little bit too out of my price range, like £5,000 for that. And by the way, in the UK, it's going to be 27 brake horsepower, not 31 as it's in the other countries, but for that Euro compliance, Euro 4 or 6 or wherever we're up to, it's only going to be 27 ponies, not that sweet 31 that we thought we were going to get in. That's a bit of a drop there. So you're looking at a CRF 250L, which is around 24, or you can get the 300, which is 26. And I believe the CRF 250L is still going to be the more capable out of all of the bikes in the range over the Rally, over the 300 version of the L and the 300 version of the Rally, because I think they cheapened out on the suspension and they've definitely gone with that solid swing arm. Makes it maybe a bit cheaper and a bit lighter, but they don't pass the savings on to you, do they? Anyway, Kawasaki might have caught my eye this year. They have released a competitor, the Kawasaki 300cc. There is a dirt bike version. No, you'll never look as cool as this. The bike will just look like this. Something that looks a bit dated, but dirt bikes, they've built them, they've got their formula. You can't go too far wrong with it. They always have that same look. But it's going to be 138 kilograms dry. But in the way, once you fill it up, put all the oils in, looking at 145, 150. So probably around the same as a CRF 300. But it's going to be 33 brake horsepower. So 2 more than the Honda when it comes to the Euroland. If it comes to the Euroland, it still hasn't been confirmed yet, but this is something to keep an eye on. So don't hold off and pre-ordering your 300Ls just yet. Just wait for these Kawasaki to come out, because Kawasaki is basically indestructible as well. So Kawasaki, Yamaha, Suzuki, Honda, they're all pretty much indestructible bikes. Himalayan. The Himalayan. Fantastic bikes. All these bikes are fantastic. I might slag them off. I really do. I'm really sorry if I do. But all these bikes are fantastic. All these bikes should probably go around the world. In fact, a lot of these have. So I'm not, even though I do complain about them, then yeah, I still, these are still more than capable of going on long, epic trips. So yeah, Himalayan, £4,000 out the gate. Nice, 4 and a bit. 4.5 change, whatever it is. Plus, you're going to spend some money on add-ons and stuff, of course, but that's with all the bikes I'm talking about. They're 24 brake horsepower. So, like I said, I'm going to talk about the negatives. 24 brake horsepower. And it's 200 and something kilograms. It's over 200 kilograms. Plus, when you put all the add-ons in, it's going to be around 230 or something. 230 kilograms and 24 brake. That's a lot of weight and not a lot of power to get it moving, and it's got a low ground clearance. That's literally it. That's my gripe. Okay, so that's not too bad, is it? You probably could put up with that essentially. Fantastic bike for the big open trails. When it gets gnarly, it's gonna get stuck. It's gonna bottom out. Still, I do like that bike. It is something that I might have to own one day. Right, the Sinnis 380, or the Sinnis Terrain 380. Sorry, It is being advertised as an adventure bike. I would not. Okay, any bike is an adventure bike. That's fine. I agree with that. You can have an adventure on any bike, before you start going mental with the thing. But it's not my type of adventure bike. I would like a bike that's capable for off-road use. Now, the only reason that it's making the rounds, this one is, it's not too bad. It's got basically a 380cc engine, 36 brake horsepower, so more than the Himalayan, which is really, really nice. And it can go along the roads fantastically. I think it would be a fantastic road bike. Road touring, no problem there. When it comes to off-road, it's possible to go off-road, but it's got them alloy wheels. It's like a baby V-Strom, a Wii-Strom, but not a 250, like an actual one that you could probably use a bit better, 380. It looks good and stuff, all new bikes kind of do. They've got that new shine and stuff. I personally would hold off getting one. The exhaust is really, really low. You'd have to get a massive bash plate to hang that out to stop that from. I don't like that the way the exhaust is at the bottom. Apart from that, and it's got alloy. I don't like it. I like spoked wheels. Yeah, and I just have to see one of these after a couple of years or something to see what they look like. But people have done trips around the world on maybe not these ones, but similar ones. They've done trips around the world. I've seen it. So, like I said, my personal opinion, I don't like this. Get over it. Okay, stop giving me hate in the comments. It's going to be, I think it's quite cheap, and it's very good for value for money. It's very good value for money, that one is. So that's fine. What is that? 4.5k. 4.5k for that bike. So that's pretty damn good for all of that stuff you get with it. So about the same as a Himalayan, but you get more of a road bike. So if I was going to go for more of an off-road bike, the Himalayan. For more of a road bike, the Terrain. Right, CB500X, brand new, is what, six grand? So yeah, we're getting up there. We're getting up there to the expensive things, but this is fantastic bike. Second hand, they still go for about 4 and a bit. So look around, you can get them, but make sure if you're going to get a one, just make sure you get a newer model because they got the bigger front wheel. They can do the light trails and stuff like that, like a Terrain 380. But what you can do is, if you have the money, we're talking the money, because to buy one of these 6k, and then if you want to, you can rally raid it, which is, if I was going to buy one, I'd probably look at rally raiding, which is changing the wheels from alloy to spoked. It looks so much better as well. The handlebars on the stock ones are I don't know, they're not wide enough. Maybe it's a bit weird, but I like wide handlebars. And I think on the 500X they're a little bit too narrow for me. So I wasn't not too fond of that one, to be honest. But yeah, that is a big expensive bike, and it's fantastic for road. But yeah, if you want to spend the extra money, you can convert it to an off-road bike. But it puts it into crazy, stupid money, which I don't think anyone should be spending. You should just look at getting a different bike once you do all that conversion stuff to it. Unless you can get one for cheap, or a crashed one, or something with broken wheels, then yes, that'd be kind of nice to do. But yeah, you do have to do quite a lot to it to make it look fantastic and ready for off-road. The last one on the list is, well, it was Italian. Italian company went bust and China bought them, basically. So this bike is designed in Italy. It's just not produced there. So, but what you get for your money, for 5.5 grand, you get a Benelli TRK 502X, 500cc or 499cc engine, 47 brake horsepower, but this is the heaviest of the bikes on this list. Over 210 kilos dry. What's it going to be like when it gets on the road? Who knows? Yeah, that's going to be a fair bit of weight. Getting up to like BMW GSA or something, 1200s weight probably. But but for 500 bit grand, and that's spoked wheels and off-road. If you compare these two bikes together, compare the 500X to this, the Honda 500X to this TRK 502, then they are very competent bikes looking at each other. just that reliability issue could be on the Chinese side of things. But then the Honda's going to run on for 60,000 miles before you even need a service, probably. Now, when it comes to, there's a lot of other bikes out there. It's like, why didn't you mention the mid-range, like, you know, the KTM 790 or the KTM 690 or the F800 or the Yamaha T7 or the F700 or the V-Strom 650. All these bikes, they are all fantastic bikes, but they're just out of that price range. They're not quite all in A2 either, and you know, it's 80% the rider, 20% bike, so I don't need the latest and greatest, even though I would like the latest and greatest. But yeah, they're just out of that range where you don't want. I don't want to spend all that money on one bike. I'd rather have lots of rubbish bikes instead. Anyway, that's my thoughts on the bikes for next year. I always like to have a look to see, ooh, do I fancy possibly looking at that or possibly looking at this? Personally, though, mid-range adventure bikes around 200 kilograms is fine. Say around 47 to 52 brake horsepower. Let's have like 150 to 180, 200 mile tank range would be good. Maybe heated grips as standard. You know, maybe a 650 single thumper. Huh. Sounds familiar. How about that? Anyway, that's the video. Just thought I'd share my thoughts on the bikes I like for next year. Anyway, feel free to attack me in the comments below. Thanks for watching. Ciao.